Thank you so much, Dr. Cosmas Maduka, for joining us on Business Insights with Irene.
You're welcome, Irene.
And today we'll be talking about entrepreneurship toolkit, those basic things that entrepreneurs should understand before they even take on, you know, the journey of entrepreneurship. Now, some people are very scared to ask, particularly when they don't understand the processes and the ways things should be done, because they're probably scared of being criticized. What would you have to say about this?
It's very simple. Take your time. Don't be in a hurry to take a plunge. Mentorship is very important. You really cannot act without faith. Courage is a prerequisite to getting things done. Your fear to succeed must be greater than your fear to fail for you to succeed. So those things has to be settled in your mind before you take the first step. Whatever happens after that is a different thing.
And then in terms of, you know, replanning, sometimes you've started your business and it's obvious that things are not working. But then the fear of actually taking a pause to replan is something that's a bit difficult for some people. How can they really manage this situation?
It's natural that if something is not working, you don't need a prophet to come and tell you that the thing you are doing is not working. There are also a situation where somebody requires a little bit more patience. I think it's clear it's not a new language that we've had, that one of the most world-renowned physicists said that if you do the same thing every time and expect a different result, it's a sign of insanity. If you start something and it's not working the way you plan, you just need to ask yourself, you know, what more do I need to do? Do I need to change location? Do I need to change direction? But don't just repeat the same thing that you have repeated repeatedly. Some people get confused. Oh, Thomas Edison made 1,000 attempts before he be able to discover light bulb. He's not doing exactly the same thing. He's making 1,000 attempts, but different thing in that 1,000 time until he was able to break it. He's not doing exactly the same thing. Otherwise, he's already insane, because you can't do the same thing and expect a different result from the same thing that you are doing. So you can be persistent in what you are doing, but add or subtract from what you are doing. Go change location, do it in a different form. If you are convinced something is going to come out from it, it's like you are holding a phone where the signal is not. You move. You say, do you hear me well here? Can you hear me better here? As you move around in that room, you can get to a spot where someone says, oh yes, yeah, I can hear you better now. Then you stand at that point to talk. So the same thing requires in business. You can't be static and expect the result is going to change.
And at what point, you know, when it comes to breaking even in business, right? That's one challenge that some people would have. For you as a young entrepreneur, at what point did you break even? And did you already have like projections on when to break even? Because situations that some business owners are facing now, say they started the business and they expected to break even in 3 years, but that didn't happen. 4 years. Is it time for them to really shut down the business?
Not exactly. You need to convince yourself what are the reasons why you didn't break even. I can give you a practical example.
Okay.
Long-term business doesn't make you money overnight. We went into farming in 2015. Of course, it's a dream that I've nurtured over 30-something years ago. And we've been sunken in money. Our plan is that by 2020, that will break even. But as of financial year of 2020, we already made a loss of about 2.7 billion naira in Koschari's farm. Everybody say I'm using trailer now to carry money. I will use trailer to carry money in it, but we still have not breakthrough. This year ended, we had additional loss about 276 million naira So bringing a loss now to about 2.8 billion. So why didn't we break even the way we planned? We've had 3 years consistent flood that overrun our farm that we never anticipated upon. Finally, last year was our first year to do one season, dry season farming. So where are we now? We started early this year. We'll farm the first crop. By next month, we'll start harvesting the first season crop in that same farm, and we will replant again. By August, we will walk out of that field. All the rain we have met come between October and November that overflowed the farm in 3 consecutive years. We are not ready to take a chance for rain to overflow the farm again. If we succeed to do 2 crop season this year and do another 2 crop season last year, improve the yield. Yes, our gestation period has been extended. These are things you cannot completely foresaw in any business. But by 2023, we will start breaking even. And the rest of the year, we will swim, we will just cruise. So there are not many times projections happen exactly the way you plan. But if we are doing the same thing, just doing dry season farming, where we have no control, we are subjected to nature, and the things happen, then it's best we quit now, because if we continue to do the same thing, we can completely erode our capital completely. Incidentally, all of those money are not just my money, because some of them are borrowed money. We've borrowed over 7 billion naira from Central Bank on it, outside of the one we borrow from other private individual plus a private equity company that put in money into the place. So we need to turn the tide around quickly to begin to create wealth. But this is how many sustainable businesses that have made people billions start. You go through this difficult period. And that's also why you don't go to this kind of business with an empty shell. You know, my grandfather used to say that you don't shoot certain animal with with empty shell, because he can take the shell and kill you in the midst of it. So you need a muzzle. How many companies operate with 2-point-something billion? But this is just a loss that has been already recorded. And we are still hanging in there. But we will make money, and we are not in doubt, no shaking in our mind that we are in a good business. Yeah.
And at what point, as a business owner, would you honestly be sincere with yourself and say to yourself, you know what, I think it's time for me to shut down this business?
There must come to a point that you look at the business environment and you see there's no further opportunity that it presented. I've shut down some businesses. I used to manufacture motorcycle roller chain. We did a projection on this industry. That was one of the first manufacturing outfit we started. Our projections was based that by 1995, Ajokuta will roll out steel plate, and we were importing steel plate from China and Taiwan, you know, to blank here to make a motorcycle chain. And the roller chain industry, the flat sheet never come to place. At a time, the duty on our raw material was increased, and the duty was reduced on a finished chain. And people are bringing in the product. We are not competitive anymore. I shut the factory down. You know, I shut it down, sell the equipment and close it and turn it to a warehouse. We have had situations in Nigeria where government policy are so inconsistent. We built a factory and started assembly car. We had a partnership with Ford. The projection was that by the end of 2025, we start assembling a Ford Explorer. We started with a Ford pickup, and by 2021, we will have started complete knockdown, build car from ground zero. within the first 6 months in 2015, after the election, the current administration came into place, the economy sprung down. Car sales went from, we projected to be selling about 10,000 cars as a company. In that year, we sell less than 2,000 cars. The year after, we sell less than 1,500 cars. The year after, we sold less than 1,000 units of cars. You can see an industry that is completely dying. This year, the government already reduced duty on a finished product. So what do we have to do? We are engaging them. If nothing happens, we will turn that place into a workshop and start repairing vehicles there and shut down the automobile assembly line that we have had. Because you cannot exist in isolation. But these are the the inconsistentness in government policy, that when you want to take some plunge, you need to be sure what you are doing. This country, until they get into manufacturing and producing, we will remain a beggar forever. But the leaders do not understand this. They make policies that are not coherent to consistentness to be able to take the country out of poverty. So they continue to deepen the hole that poverty will continue to be in the country. But as an entrepreneur, we have also do things to mitigate those stress. I would have started building additional workshop to service car, but that would be a fantastic workshop for car service for me, to give me all the rooms that I have done. People will bring used car, but they need those cars to be on the road. We will service it from them there and earn money. But manufacturing that will have long-term event that will take the country out of poverty will not come, because the leaders do not understand it and do not know that they have to pay a price for solution to be there. So many businesses doesn't work out exactly the way it is. Today, one of the businesses that support us very well in our group is Cosmas Technologies. But I lost over 2 billion naira in Cosmas Technologies before Cosmas Technology started making us money. I lost money in Cosmas Ghana, supported it from Nigeria. But these two businesses is one of the most business that deliver on profitability of Cosmas Group today. But, so there's always a chance of running into difficulties before it bounces back. So, but there are the ones you eventually need to shut down. I shut down Cosmas Finance and Investment. It does not exist anymore. I shut down Cosmas Auto Industry. It does not exist anymore. So it's not all businesses that we went to that has been successful. Aliko Dangote has his own story. He will also tell you businesses that he has shut down that never made him money. I knew he invested in a bank at a time, and I knew when he went out of a bank, he almost drilled him. He sold everything he had on it. So that's why we are entrepreneur. We don't see all it clear like that. So many times we burn our finger, we learn from it. Some of our school fees are expensive, but it helps us to position us for the next level of growth in life. Yep.
A lot to talk about. We'll be right back after this break.
Thank you.